challenging.
Healthy competition.
It's very tough.
It's competitive.
I think it's great.
To the overall state championship tournament of the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl. And now, here is your host for this evening, Quizmaster Neil Gladner.
Welcome to the 6th Annual Governor's Academic Competition 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl. We started in 1985 with 114 teams, and this year the competition has involved 235 high schools with 1,175 students in the state competition alone. This represents 70% of the total high schools in the state. This is the first year that this academic competition has been designed throughout all previous tournaments for schools to compete based on school size. 4 academic classifications were established. 8 tournaments in each classification were held on March the 13th. The winning teams from each of those tournaments advanced to the state championship tournament for their classification. These tournaments were held on April 10th. Today we have the 4 state champs and the runners-up from each classification competing in the overall state championship tournament. The high schools reaching the overall state championship tournament this year are the 4 state champs by classification in AAA, Fort Smith Northside, AA, Huntsville, A, Harmony Grove, Camden, and B, Mineral Springs. And then the 4 runners-up in AAA, Pine Bluff, AA, Beebe, A, Bauxite, and B, Calico Rock. Earlier today, we completed the quarterfinals of the overall state championship tournament. The teams remaining that you'll see this evening, Fort Smith Northside, Pine Bluff, Huntsville, and Beebe. The Quiz Bowl format emphasizes quick recall of general academic knowledge expected of high school students and beyond. The teams today are competing for the grand prize of $1,000 scholarships for each member of the winning team in the championship match. All other team members participating today will receive cash awards of varying amounts depending on how far their team advances. In addition, the school of the winning team will receive a QuizMate student response system donated by Electro Systems Corporation in North Little Rock. John Dewey once said that a great society not only searches out intelligence, but rewards it when it is found. We would like to congratulate the students today for their commitment to academic excellence, and we're very pleased to be able to reward them for their efforts. Talk a moment about the judges. Serving as judges for the competition today are Mary Jane Bradley from Arkansas State University, Jean Parker and Susan Greer from the Department of Education. The other officials for today's matches, Dr. Roy Wood from the Department of Education, Anna Talbert from Mount Air Corporation, Stam Stewart from the Little Rock School District, David Howard, who is the academic coach at Cabot High, Steve Patterson, the academic coach at Arkadelphia High School, and Robert Watson, who is a retired counselor from Arkadelphia High School. These officials will be serving as timekeeper, scorekeepers, and subject area judges. The teams are now ready to start the semifinal matches to determine which school will be the official overall state champion of the 1990 Governor's Academic Competition, Arkansas Quiz Bowl. This competition is not designed to be a test of scholarship. It's a game played by scholars. It's tough and it's competitive. We're sure that these contestants are capable of much more significant reasoning than this game can possibly demonstrate, but we do congratulate the players for accepting its challenges. Now, for the benefit of our television audience, I'd like to briefly explain how this game is played. Each of the matches is consisting of 4 quarters of play. The first, second, and fourth quarters are timed 5-minute rounds. The third round is a special 60-second for each team. There are 3 types of questions used: toss-up, bonus, and sets of 10 category questions. The first and fourth quarters have toss-up questions only. The second quarter has toss-up and bonus questions, and then the sets of category questions are used in the 60-second round. Now, for the first semifinal match, we have teams from Huntsville and from Pine Bluff, so let's meet the players first from Huntsville High School. Captain, Matt Buchanan. Matt is a National Merit Finalist, a Presidential Scholar Finalist, a Tandy Technology Scholar, and member of the 1989 Arkansas Quiz Bowl State Finals all-tournament team. He will attend the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville to study computer science. Welcome, Matt. Scott Thomas is a junior. He received first place in the regional Citizen Bee competition, Star 2000 semifinalist, Xerox scholar. He wants to attend the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville and enter the field of criminal justice. Welcome to you, Scott. Tracy Castile is a senior, a Star 2000 national semifinalist. She plans to attend Agnes Scott College to pursue a career in international relations. Tracy, welcome. And Joe Strawn is a senior, a National Merit Commended student. He enjoys academic competitions of all types, plans to attend Southwestern Missouri State University to study advertising or law. The fifth team member, William Allred, is a senior. He is not here. He is home ill. We wish him well. Huntsville is coached by Harry Shin and Steve Harwood. So welcome to Huntsville. Now, Pine Bluff. The captain is Daniel Howell. Dan is a senior, a National Merit finalist, and attended Governor's School. He plans to attend Vanderbilt University and study engineering. Dan, welcome. The Chris Brazell is a junior. He plays second in the state finals of the Citizen Bee in 1989 and first in his region in 1990. He would like to attend either Howard or Rutgers and study math. Tim Fincher is a candidate for a valedictorian and has received numerous awards in various academic competitions. He plans to attend Tulane or the University of Arkansas Fayetteville with a career interest in engineering and medicine. And Dabu Bhattacharya is a junior. He was selected to attend Soviet American Environmental Camp and Seminar. Dabu hopes to attend Johns Hopkins University and study molecular biology or medicine. The alternate is Rob Salyers, a junior, and Pine Bluff High School's team is coached by Virginia Scoggins. So welcome there. We have met all the players and the teams. I'll be calling the correctness of your answers by indicating correct or incorrect as we play the game. If at any time the judges need to interrupt, you will hear this sound. The judge will give us instructions at that point. In addition, you will hear this sound for time is out on a toss-up or bonus question response. Just the bell and this sound, which will end the quarter of play. So, with all of that out of the way, if you're ready for your first set of toss-up questions, I have the questions. Here we go. On February 11th, 1920, in what major city did the League of Nations hold its first session? Huntsville, Scott.
Geneva.
Incorrect. Pine Bluff, Duluth.
Paris.
Also incorrect. Looking for London. What fairy tale has often been suggested to represent the Earth awakened from her winter sleep? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty is correct. Awakened from her winter sleep by the kiss of the sun. To complete that question. What U.S. state contains the area of land known as Point Conception? Huntsville, Scott.
California.
Is correct. From what U.S. state is Democratic Senator Wink Fowler from? Huntsville, Scott.
Georgia.
Correct. What major endocrine gland in humans produces follicle-stimulating hormones? Huntsville, Matt.
Ovary.
Incorrect. Pine Bluff, Chris.
Testosterone.
No, we're looking for the pituitary gland there. Math questions now, contestants. 36 is 80% of what larger number? Pine Bluff, Duluth.
40.
Incorrect. Huntsville, Joe.
90.
Also incorrect. We were looking for 45. According to the book of Genesis, for how many years did Methuselah live? Pine Bluff, Tim.
956.
Incorrect. Huntsville, Scott.
965.
Also incorrect. Looking for 969. Beatles are one of the most popular musical groups in recording history. Which of the four Beatles played his instrument left-handed? Pine Bluff, Tim.
Paul McCartney.
Correct. Who was sentenced to 99 years in prison for the Pine Bluff, Chris?
James Earl Ray.
Correct. For the murder of Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968. To complete that question. Name the main character in George Orwell's novel 1980. Pine Bluff, Chris.
Winston Smith.
Correct. 1984, who kept a secret diary which began with the sentence, "Down with Big Brother."
Owen.
Accidental ring-in. We continue a mathematics question now, contestants. Express the decimal 0.3125 as a fraction. Huntsville, Scott.
31.25%.
Incorrect. Pine Bluff, Daniel.
I did not ring in.
Accidental ring, Chris.
No. 3/5.
Also incorrect. The correct answer, 5/16. At what position does All-Star Mark McGuire play for the World Pine Bluff? Tim.
First base.
He does, for the champion Oakland Athletics. What is the term given in earth science to a ring-shaped island of coral? Pine Bluff, Daniel.
Atoll.
Correct, which surrounds a quiet lagoon. To complete that question, what city serves as capital of the African nation of Senegal? Pine Bluff, Tim. No answer. Huntsville, Matt.
Dakar.
Is correct. What American author created the characters Roderick Usher and his sister? Huntsville, Matt.
Ho.
Again, please.
Ho.
Correct. And his sister Madeline to complete that question. What process did Charles Goodyear create in Pine Bluff, Chris?
Vulcanization.
Correct. He did it in 1839, which made rubber tires feasible. Who is considered to be the first Roman emperor? He became emperor. Pine Bluff, debut.
Augustus Caesar.
Correct. Well, let's see. Although Brigham Young is the most famous Mormon leader, Huntsville, Matt.
Joseph Smith.
Correct. He actually founded the Mormon Church in 1830 to complete that question. In what U.S. state would one be if one were launching a boat into Norton Sound? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Alaska.
Is correct. What does the German term Volkswagen mean in English? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Green wagon.
Incorrect. Huntsville, Scott.
People's car.
Correct. In the Crimean War, who was known as the... Pine Bluff, Chris.
Red Cross.
Incorrect. Complete the question. Who was known as the Lady with the Lamp? Huntsville, Scott.
Florence Nightingale.
Correct. Into what phylum of invertebrate animals are cowries, whelks, conchs, and tritons classified? Pine Bluff, debut.
Echinodermata.
Incorrect. Huntsville, Scott.
Echinodermata.
No, we're looking for mollusca. What extremely popular rock group had a hit in 1980 with the album The Wall? Huntsville, Joe has an opportunity to answer that question.
Pink Floyd.
Is correct. So that's the end of our first round, the toss-up round. We have the bonus round coming up. Our score very close right now. Pine Bluff 90, Huntsville 80. We'll be back with the second quarter of play between Huntsville and Pine Bluff right after this.
Huntsville High School in Huntsville, Arkansas is the home of the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl Class AA state champions. This year's team, coached by Harry Shin and Steve Harwood, received the honor on April 10th when they won the right to compete in the overall state championship. Huntsville boasts a brand new high school facility, which was completed in 1988. AETN would like to wish the Huntsville Eagles the very best of luck in the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl overall state tournament.
Welcome back to the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl. Some of the brightest students in Arkansas are with us today. 235 teams started this competition in March. We're down to our final teams in the Arkansas Quiz Bowl overall state championship tournament. This live broadcast is a cooperative effort by the Arkansas Educational Television Network and the Arkansas Department of Education. The governor's academic competition, Arkansas Quiz Bowl, is coordinated by the State Recognition Program at the Arkansas Department of Education. Round 2 is the bonus round. We'll ask toss-up questions. If the team answers the toss-up question correctly, we go on to a bonus question. Huntsville and Pine Bluff going at it. Pine Bluff 90, Huntsville 80. Here goes round 2. Mathematics question to start. Students, in lowest terms, what is 3/4 times 5/9 times 2/5? Pine Bluff, Chris.
1/6.
Is correct. Here's accidental ring, and here's your bonus question. What was the general term given to the Royalists who opposed the Puritans in the English Civil War?
Cavaliers.
Is correct. Toss-up. In what continent would one be if one were standing on the shore of the Strait of Magellan? Pine Bluff, Chris.
South America.
Is correct. Here's your bonus question. What American author predicted a fascist revolution in the United States to be ultimately followed by an equalitarian golden age in his 1908 novel, The Iron Heel?
Fascist. Madison. Norman Mailer. Fitzgerald.
That is incorrect. We're looking for Jack London. Back to toss-up questions. What 4 planets of the solar system are known as the terrestrial? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars.
Is correct. Here's your bonus question. What rare chemical compound makes up the mineral rutile?
Rutile. Mineral compound. Iron. Limestone, sand. Pyrite. Something rare. Plutonium. Plutonium.
No, we're looking there for titanium dioxide. Back to toss-up question. Who lived in a home known as the Oaks, located on the campus of Tuskegee Institute? Huntsville, Scott.
Booker T. Washington.
Correct. Here is your bonus question. What Roman emperor was placed on the throne by soldiers after the murder of the Emperor Caligula?
Nero.
Incorrect. We're looking there for Claudius. Toss-up. What William Cullen Bryant poem contains the line, Huntsville, Matt?
Thanatopsis.
That's correct. Complete the question. Contains the line, the hill, the rock rib, and ancient as the sun. Here's your bonus question. Medical question. Gout occurs in humans when crystals of what chemical, a byproduct of metabolism, build up in the joint?
Lactic acid.
Judges, no, we were looking for uric acid there. So, toss-up question. Name the first 4 nations of the world to possess nuclear weapons. Pine Bluff, Chris.
The United States, Soviet Union, France, and Great Britain.
Is correct. Bonus question. What ancient city located in modern Iraq was the capital of the Syrian Empire, of the Assyrian Empire?
Nineveh.
Is correct.
Good job.
Toss-up. What U.S. state contains the controversial Tellico Dam, the construction of which was almost canceled due to its endangering the tiny snail darter? Pine Bluff, Tim.
Washington.
Incorrect. Huntsville, Scott.
Idaho.
No, Tennessee, the correct answer there. What is the term for the chemicals produced by molds or other microorganisms? Pine Bluff, DeBooth?
Antibiotics.
That's correct. Complete the question, which are used as medicines to fight bacterial diseases. Here's your bonus question. In what U.S. national park would one be if one were viewing the rock formation known as Half Dome?
Briar.
Was that Montana, Wyoming?
No, it's Utah. Briar.
Wyoming, Half Dome.
I think it's Briar.
I thought it was Wyoming.
Utah.
Wyoming.
National Park. Briar.
Briar's National Park.
No, we're looking for Yosemite National Park. Back to toss-up questions. What American author wrote the play Desire Under the Elm? Pine Bluff, DeBooth.
Tennessee Williams.
Incorrect. Huntsville, Scott.
Wilder.
No, looking for Eugene O'Neill there. The Empire State Building was once the tallest building. Huntsville, Joe.
Sears Tower.
Incorrect. I'll complete the question. Was once the tallest building in New York. What New York building currently holds that distinction? Pine Bluff, DeBooth.
World Trade Center.
Correct. Here is your bonus question. The city of Kinshasa serves as the capital of what modern African nation?
Zaire. Yeah. Zaire.
Is correct. Toss-up question. If a physicist uses the term event horizon, what type? Pine Bluff, Chris.
He's speaking about black hole singularity.
Judges will accept that. That's correct. What type of object is he discussing? Looking now for bonus questions in physics. What property of an electrical conductor is calculated by dividing the voltage by the current? Pine Bluff.
Resistance.
Is correct. Back to toss-up questions. Give the code name for the Allied invasion of Normandy. Huntsville, Matt.
Overlord.
Again, please.
Overlord.
That's correct. Here's your bonus question. What would be the surface area in square inches of a regular rectangular solid with ends measuring 2 inches by 3 inches and with a length of 8 inches? And that's the end of the round, although you still have an opportunity to answer that bonus question.
76.
No, we're looking for 92 square inches there. So that is the end of the second quarter of play. Pine Bluff 240, Huntsville 110. When we come back, we will have the 60-second round, and there are 3 categories here for you to choose from: math, Mozart, and words. And Huntsville will have the choice when we come back. Again, math, Mozart, and words for our 60-second round. We'll be back after this.
In keeping with AETN's primary mission of supporting the educational needs of all students in the state of Arkansas, AETN's Department of Educative Services takes pride in their dedication.
Program Services is primarily responsible for the acquisition, duplication, and distribution of over 2,500 instructional television programs for classroom use in the schools of Arkansas. We provide an ITV broadcast schedule from 9 until 3, Monday through Friday. But if a school cannot receive our signal clearly, we also offer an alternative. A school may request a dubbed copy of one of our programs from our dubbing center located here in Conway, or if they're a member of one of the 15 regional educational co-ops, there is a lending library located there where they also can obtain a copy of our programming. We have a variety of print materials to support the programs, teacher guides, catalogs, and other information that teachers can use.
And welcome back to Quiz Bowl 90. Huntsville trailing Pine Bluff 110 to 240. The Arkansas Quiz Bowl is not designed to be a test of scholarship. It's a game played by scholars, and it is tough and it is competitive, as you've seen. We are sure that these contestants are capable of more significant reasoning than this game can possibly demonstrate, but again, we congratulate all the players for accepting its challenge. Excellence is defined as the quest for the best, and we, of course, have some of the best students from around Arkansas here this evening. The 60-second categories, again, math, Mozart, and words. As Huntsville trails, it gets the first opportunity at choice of questions. So, Huntsville, Matt, what would you like?
Math, please.
Math questions they shall be. These are definitions. You'll have 60 seconds to get as many as you can. If you are ready, and we have 60 seconds on the clock, here goes. How many diagonals does a pentagon have?
4.
Incorrect. What integer lies midway between 2 squared and 2 to the 3rd power?
6.
Correct. What is the mathematical term for any 4-sided figure?
Quadrilateral.
Correct. If a 720 cubic foot room measures 10 feet by 9 feet, what is its height?
80.
Incorrect. What is the lowest common prime factor of 48, 15, and 6?
3.
Is correct. What number do you have if you divide 200 by 1/2 and add 15?
415.
Correct. What unit fraction is roughly equivalent to 0.1429?
17.
Correct. How many permutations can be made from the letters of the word K-I-C-K, kick? 60 seconds is up, so we go to Pine Bluff to give them an opportunity to answer the questions that Huntsville was unable to answer. If you are ready, Pine Bluff, these are treated as bonus questions. How many diagonals does a pentagon have?
5.
Is correct. If a 720 cubic foot room measures 10 feet by 9 feet, what is its height?
8.
8
feet.
Correct. Let's see. What unit fraction is roughly equivalent? No, they got that. I'm sorry. How many permutations can be made from the letters of the word kick? K-I-C-K.
2 factorial times 2.
4.
Incorrect. The correct answer there was 12.
24.
So, now to Pine Bluff, who gets their opportunity to pick from either words or Mozart. What will it be?
Words.
Words. Okay. Now, for a multiple choice vocabulary quiz. 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go. Does diffidence mean shyness, partiality, remoteness, or indifference?
Shyness. Shyness.
Correct. Does disparate mean enraged, unequal, individual, or frantic?
Unequal.
Is correct. Does dolorous mean dark, heavy, distressful, or cheerful?
Distressful.
Correct. Does elision mean concoction, error, removal, or request?
Removal.
Is correct. Does equanimity mean civility, prejudice, the state of being equal, or composure?
State of being equal.
Incorrect. Does erudition mean elimination, scholarship, baseness,
Scholarship.
Correct. Does fatuous mean blank, idiotic, pompous, or helpless? Helpless, excuse me.
Pompous.
Incorrect. Does felicity mean happiness, reminiscence, mortification, or faithfulness?
Happiness.
Is correct. Does insinuate mean devise, err, hint, or officiate?
Hint.
Correct. Does insidious mean...
Evil.
Well, there'd be, I presume, no way to completely finish that question. We do go back now to Huntsville for an opportunity to get the questions that were missed. Does equanimity mean civility, prejudice, the state of being equal, or composure?
Composure.
Is correct. Does fatuous mean blank, idiotic, pompous, or helpless?
Helpless.
Incorrect. We're looking for idiotic there. And then the 10th question, does insidious mean?
Same.
Well, obviously you didn't get an opportunity to hear the four choices they gave you. Persistent, treacherous, hypocritical, or blatant and treacherous was the answer that they were looking for. So that is the end of the 62nd round. Pine Bluff leading Huntsville 330 to 170, and we'll be back with the fourth and final quarter after this.
Pine Bluff High School in Pine Bluff, Arkansas is the home of the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl Class AAA runners-up. This year's team, coached by Virginia Scoggins, received the honor on April 10th of competing in the overall state championship here in Conway. Pine Bluff is one of the largest high schools in Arkansas with a top-notch media center and modern library facilities. AETN wishes the very best of luck to the Pine Bluff Zebras in the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl overall state tournament.
And we're back to Quiz Bowl, the final quarter between Huntsville and Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff 330, Huntsville 170. So this is a very important quarter. We're back to toss-up questions of both teams. If you're ready, here we go. Name the only U.S. state which borders only one other state. Pine Bluff, Chris.
New Hampshire borders, other way, Maine borders Vermont. New Hampshire.
A single state answer, please.
Maine.
Correct. Give the number 82 in Roman numerals. Huntsville, Scott.
LXXXII.
Correct. What Major League Baseball team plays its home games in Riverfront Stadium? Huntsville, Scott.
The Cincinnati Reds.
Correct. What rock group had a hit in 1983 with the song Every Breath You Take? Pine Bluff, debut.
The Police.
Correct. What 20th century British author wrote the Stream of Consciousness novel Mrs. Dalloway? Pine Bluff, debut.
I don't know, Faulkner. No.
That's correct. Huntsville, Matt.
Huxley.
No, Virginia Woolf. What is the term given to the chronic disease condition of the liver in which... Huntsville, Matt.
Cirrhosis.
Correct. Complete the question. In which fibrous tissue and nodules replace normal tissue, most often seen in alcoholics. In classical mythology, of what were Boreas, Euros, Notes? Huntsville, Tracy.
Winds.
That's correct. What city contains the world's oldest operating subway system? Huntsville, Scott.
London.
London is correct. In what Asian nation would one be if one were sailing down the Irrawaddy River? Huntsville, Scott.
Burma.
Burma's right. A given cube has a total surface area of 54 square inches. What is the volume of this cube? Huntsville, Matt.
27.
Looking for a more complete answer. Must be given in units.
27 cubic inches.
Is correct. Name the author of the American novel East of Eden. Huntsville, Scott.
Steinbeck.
Correct. What period in human history occurred between the Stone Age and the Iron? Huntsville, Matt.
New Stone Age.
Incorrect. Pine Bluff, debut.
Bronze Age.
Correct, between the Stone Age and the Iron Age to complete the question there. Give us, if you will, the chemical symbols for both silver and gold. Pine Bluff, debut.
AG and AU.
Could you identify which is for which, please?
Sure. AG is for silver, AU is for gold.
Correct. Name the squire of Don Quixote in the famous Pine Bluff crypt.
Poncho.
Incorrect. Huntsville, Matt.
Sancho Panza.
Correct. What animal is grown for the material known as mohair? Huntsville, Scott.
Goat.
Excuse me, I said Scott, I meant Matt.
Goats.
I believe I need a more specific answer.
Angora.
That's correct. After what two types of predatory animals were the two best German tanks to see action in World War II named? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Wolf and lion.
Incorrect. Huntsville, Scott.
Wolf and dachshund.
Incorrect. Looking there for the panther and the tiger. Continuing, a box contains 20 red marbles, 20 blue marbles, and 10 green marbles. A marble is drawn at random, observed, and replaced. Another marble is then drawn at random. What is the chance that both marbles drawn are red? Pine Bluff, Chris.
4/25.
That's correct. What planet of the solar system is orbited by the tiny moons Phobos and Pine Bluff, Chris?
Mars.
Correct. Bile is an important body fluid. Pine Bluff, Chris.
From the kidneys.
Incorrect. Huntsville, Matt.
From the liver.
Also incorrect. Looking for gallbladder. Fluid is produced in the liver. What body organ, to complete the question, located near the liver is used in the storage of bile? What U.S. president of the early 20th century broke a 117-year-old tradition by being the first? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Incorrect. Complete the question by being the first to leave the United States territorial jurisdiction. Huntsville, Tracy.
Roosevelt?
More complete answer, please.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Correct. Will Rogers was one of the most popular celebrities in the 1920s and the Depression era. In what state was Rogers killed? Huntsville, Matt.
Alaska.
Correct. Killed in a plane crash in 1935. What aviation pioneer was flying the plane in which Huntsville, Matt?
Wiley Post.
In which Rogers was killed. Correct. In what U.S. state would one be if one were visiting the Gettysburg Battle? Huntsville, Scott.
Pennsylvania.
Correct. The Gettysburg Battlefield. What is the scientific name for the breastbone? Huntsville, Matt.
The sternum.
Correct. In what city and state? So that's the end of the final quarter, and a tough quarter it was. Pine Bluff ends up on top, 390 to Huntsville's 320. A well-fought battle. Congratulations to both teams for being there. Pine Bluff will see you later tonight, and we'll have more of the Arkansas Quiz Bowl 90 coming up.
In keeping with AETN's primary mission of supporting the educational needs of all students in the state of Arkansas, AETN's Department of Educative Services takes pride in their dedication.
We help adults learn how to read, or we help adults who are trying to obtain their GED diploma. With the GED on TV students, I have monthly contact with these students. In addition to talking to them, some of them I talk to on a daily or even a weekly basis. I give them as much encouragement as I can, and also help them with any problems that they're having with their lessons. What we envision in expanding in our program in the future is that of creating, or not creating, but purchasing a pre-GED program. Right now we have Learn to Read, which services students who cannot read, and this program is designed to help get them up to the 4th grade reading level. GED on TV is geared for people who are on at least the 8th grade reading level when they begin the program. So we do need to fill this gap in the between the 4th grade reading level and the 8th grade reading level, and hopefully we'll do that soon.
The Quiz Bowl 1990 will continue in a moment.
Since 1985, the Arkansas Quiz Bowl has provided thousands of Arkansas high school students a rewarding opportunity to express their academic knowledge. One such student is Frank Stokes from Heber Springs. Mr. Stokes had the opportunity to compete in 2 overall state tournaments held here at the AETN studios. Frank served as team captain for his 1989 team and was a member of the 5-man all-tournament team in 1988. We recently visited Mr. Stokes on the campus of the University of Arkansas and asked him to reflect on his past Quiz Bowl experiences.
For me, sometimes the most fun was having the chance to play people that we had lost to prior to that time. Maybe a little revenge factor in there. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. Especially, coming from a small town, people would see Heber Springs on the tournament bracket and they wouldn't take us seriously at all. They're all hard games. None of them were runaways. Like any other game, we got a few breaks here and there. And to tell you the truth, probably the best game I was involved in would be in our district, actually. We played Mountain View, who just had a tremendous team that year. And I think we beat them by 5 or 10 points. It was decided on the last question of the game, and there was several challenges involved. It was really a tug of war, and I didn't understand. Well, I didn't know whether or not we had won by then, and it took a while afterwards, for it to sink in. It was really tense. My roommate, my first semester in Dallas at SMU, was the captain, in fact, of the Fort Smith Northside team that placed 3rd in the state last year. We were on opposite sides of the bracket, and we were pretty sure that we were going to play each other eventually, and it would have been kind of tense, but Hope knocked them out before we got a chance to. And, of course, they went on to win it. But, through things like Quiz Bowl, you really do meet some people. Some good friendships come out of it. I never was really encouraged to go into it until my sophomore year by my Spanish teacher, actually. He wasn't a sponsor, but he pulled me over after class one day and said, "Frank, you really ought to check into this." Well, I went to the meeting, and from then on, I was on the team. I was an active part of it. You don't know what you can do sometimes until you actually do it. As it is, I like the system because it gives the team that won the chance to go and represent, as in last year, Hope, Arkansas, and Chicago. That's great. That, you just don't like that.
And welcome back to Quiz Bowl 90 from the studios of AETN in Conway. In this match, Northside and Beebe will meet, and we'll introduce you to the teams in just a moment. The Arkansas Activities Association has sanctioned this academic competition as an official state event. As a result, each student competing today has been named to an academic all-star team by reaching this level of the competition. Official all-state certificates will be presented to each team member. In addition, the Activities Association will recognize one of the players as the most valuable player. A specially designed neck medallion will be presented to this student after the competition today. The officials of the tournament would also name an all-tournament team consisting of 5 players who can be from any team. The Department of Education would like to thank the officials of the Arkansas Activities Association for their support of this academic competition. Well, as I mentioned, Northside and Beebe meet in this match, so let's go off and meet our players. Starting with Northside, Fort Smith Northside. Captain is Chris Foley. Chris is a senior attending Governor's School. He is a Governor's Scholar and a Sturgis Fellow finalist. He will attend U of A Fayetteville and hopes to become a history professor and novel writer. Welcome, Chris. Next is A.J. Patel, a senior. A.J. has received a University Scholar Award from SMU. He has won the Regional Citizen Bee competition for 2 consecutive years. He wants to become a physician by studying either at SMU or Washington University. A.J., welcome. Scott Newell is a senior, enjoys drafting, chemistry, and calculus. He's planning to attend the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville to study engineering. Welcome to you, Scott. And finally, Dave Fowler is a junior, a winner of the American Legion Scholastic Excellence Award. Dave plans to attend Oklahoma State University or U of A Fayetteville for a career in the aerospace industry, and he will attend Governor's School. Welcome to you. The alternate for Fort Smith Northside is Jason Searcy. He is a sophomore, and Fort Smith Northside is coached by Larry Jones and Kathy Smith. Excuse me. And welcome to Fort Smith Northside. Now let's meet the team from Beebe High School. Captain Shane Smith, a senior. Shane was a state and national finalist in the Citizen Bee. He plans to attend Arkansas State University at Beebe and study political science or meteorology. Welcome, Shane. Next, senior Eugene Smith. Eugene is a Governor's Scholar. He has received numerous academic awards at his school. He is planning to attend the University of Arkansas Fayetteville and pursue a career in some area of science. Next is John Peterson, a junior, interested in math and has won several math competition awards as well as other academic awards at his school. He will attend Governor's School. And Alan Evans is a senior, a member of FBLA, and has received numerous awards in business contests. Alan attend the University of Arkansas at Little Rock and hopes to have a career in electronics. So welcome to Beebe. The alternate is Chris Johnston, and the Beebe team is coached by Tanya Davis. So you have met our two teams. Once again, we start with toss-up questions. The rules remain the same as they did in the match you saw just a few moments ago. So teams, if you are ready, here we go. Good luck. What U.S. president took office upon the assassination of Abraham Lincoln? Beebe, Shane.
Andrew Johnson.
Correct. What American author wrote the novel The Last of the Mohicans? Northside, A.J.
Cooper.
Correct. What city serves as capital of the Scandinavian nation Norway? Northside, A.J.
Oslo.
Correct. What cellular organelle in animal cells functions in the storage of food in the cell? Northside, Scott.
Vacuole.
Correct. Give the number 179 in Roman numerals. Northside, Chris.
CLXXIX.
Is correct. In classical mythology, what would happen to a mortal who should be so foolish as to gaze upon Medusa? Northside, Chris.
To be turned to stone.
Correct. Earl Weaver retired from Major League Baseball after a career as one of the top managers in history. What team? Beebe, Shane.
Baltimore Orioles.
Correct. Now a mathematics question, contestants. I want you to factor the following expression. X squared minus 3x minus 10. Northside, Chris.
X minus 5 times X plus 2.
Is correct. What two nations lie on opposite sides of the body of water known as the Korea Strait? Beebe, Shane.
South Korea and China.
Incorrect. Northside, Dave.
South Korea and Japan.
Correct. What American author created the popular characters Brer Fox and Northside, AJ?
Joel Chandler Harris.
Correct. What U.S. state has the city of Augusta? Beebe, Shane.
Georgia.
Incorrect. Northside, Dave.
Maine.
Correct, as its capital, to complete the question there. Continuing. What evil god in Norse mythology helped Northside, Chris?
Loki.
Correct. To complete the question, helped the blind god Hoder to kill the god Balder with a sprig of mistletoe. On we go. Into what chemical element does uranium-238 decay? Beebe, Eugene.
Lead.
Incorrect. I'll complete the question. Does uranium-238 decay by emission of an alpha particle? Northside, Scott.
Thorium.
Correct. Another mathematics question, students. Using I as the imaginary number and not a variable, what is, in parentheses, x plus I times, in parentheses, x minus I? Northside, Chris.
X squared minus 1.
Incorrect. Beebe, Eugene.
X squared plus 1.
Is correct. On we go. What black American author wrote the novel Another Country? Northside, AJ.
Baldwin.
Correct. What major U.S. city is located at the mouth of the Charles River? Beebe, Shane.
Boston.
Is correct. 3 coins are flipped. What would be the chance expressed as a fraction that all 3 will... Northside, Chris.
1 out of 8. 1/8.
Is correct. We'll land on heads to complete the question there. Which planet of the solar system has an atmosphere made up of 96... Northside, Scott.
Venus.
Correct. Let me complete the question. Made up of 96% carbon dioxide, resulting in a runaway greenhouse effect. What popular tourist city serves as capital of the Australian province Northside, AJ?
Queensland.
Incorrect. Complete the question. Australian province of New South Wales. Beebe, Shane.
Sydney.
Is correct. In what month and year was the first atomic bomb detonated in New Mexico? Beebe, Allen.
May 1945.
Incorrect. Northside, Scott.
April of 45.
No, July of 45, what we were looking for. What famous French artist painted the Prima Ballerina? Northside, Chris.
Cassat.
Incorrect. In 1876 to complete the question.
Are you sure?
Beebe, Shane.
Monet.
No, looking for Edgar Degas there. Continuing, in what F. Scott Fitzgerald novel does one find the characters Dick and Nicole Diver? Northside, Chris.
The Great Gatsby.
Incorrect. Time there. Looking for Tender is the Night. On we go. If an Englishman asks you where he can find the nearest chemist for what? Northside, Scott.
He's looking for a pharmacy.
Incorrect. Let me complete the question. Find the nearest chemist for what would he be looking? Beebe, Shane.
Doctor.
No, the judges made quite a distinction in this in conversation before the match started. They'd be looking for the drugstore or the pharmacy, the place, not the person. So that's the end of the first quarter. Northside leading Beebe 140 to 50. We'll be back with the bonus round coming up after this.
Northside High School in Fort Smith, Arkansas is the home of the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl Class AAA champions. On April 10th, this year's team, coached by Larry Jones, won the right to compete in the overall championship here in Conway. In a caliber that rivals its sports program, Northside, formerly known as Fort Smith High School, regains the chance to show off academically its Grizzly pride to the rest of the state. AETN would like to wish the Northside Grizzlies the best of luck in the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl overall state tournament.
And we're back to Quiz Bowl 90. Welcome. Well, Northside leading Beebe 140 to 50. The important bonus round coming up, a real chance to make up some points here. One aim of an education is to put each student in touch with the best. None of this today would be possible without the academic coaches at the local school level who are the best. Outstanding teachers and many principals who have worked with these teams. You've met some of them already. These dedicated educators have given up their lunchtime, reported to school early or stayed late, and even given up their Saturdays. We'd like to congratulate the coaches of the 8 teams here today, and again say thank you to all of the 227 others who may be watching us. So, as I mentioned, it is bonus round time. Northside and Beebe going at it. Northside 140, Beebe 50. In this round, I ask a toss-up question. If the toss-up question is answered correctly, then you get an opportunity to answer a bonus question, which is worth additional points. Both teams and the scorekeeper and timekeepers are ready. Here we go, starting with the toss-up. What 18th century French chemist first explained the role of oxygen? Northside, Scott.
Lavoisier.
One more time, please.
Lavoisier.
Is correct. Here's your bonus question. By the way, it contained the role of oxygen in combustion to complete that question. Here's the bonus question. What Italian soldier was the hero of the unification of Italy in the mid-19th century?
Garibaldi.
Correct. Here's the toss-up question. What is the term given to the Cambodian communists who... Northside, Scott.
Khmer Rouge.
Who overthrew the government of Lon Nol in 1975. That's correct. Here's a bonus question. What is the term for the cone-shaped deposits of river transported sediments which are formed when streams emerge from a mountainous area into relatively level terrain?
I think it's alluvium.
Alluvium?
Yes. An alluvium. Alluvium. An alluvium.
That is, judges, take that. The answer we had written was alluvial fan. Mathematics question for the toss-up. Factor the following expression. X squared minus 3x plus 2. Northside, Chris.
X minus 2 times X minus 1.
Correct. Here's the bonus question. What Canadian province contains the cities of Banff, Medicine Hat, and Red Deer?
Yeah. The Yukon.
No, we're looking for Alberta. Toss-up question. What is the maximum number of golf clubs which one is allowed to carry in an official competition? Northside, Scott.
14.
14 clubs is correct. Bonus question. Of what disease, of which there was no effective treatment at the time, did American author Stephen Crane die at the age of 29?
Okay. Tuberculosis?
Correct. Here comes the toss-up question. Someone boards a plane in Houston and flies on a direct plane flight to Atlanta, including the starting and ending. Northside, Dave.
Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia.
Correct. We're looking for which states they were going to fly over. Here's a bonus question. What U.S. president owned a summer home on Campobello Island in New Brunswick, Connecticut, located only a few minutes from the United States?
Canada.
Oh, thank you. Campobello Island in New Brunswick, Canada. Thank you, judges. Located only a few minutes from the United States, the home is now a tourist attraction. Looking for the name of the U.S. president.
Got any idea? Theodore Roosevelt.
Incorrect. Franklin Roosevelt. That's the correct president we're looking for there. Toss-up. Someone boards a plane in Little Rock at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and flies on a 9-hour plane flight to London. What is the time in London upon the arrival? Northside, Scott.
11 o'clock at night.
11 p.m. is correct. Here's your bonus question. What French painter of the early 19th century created the famous painting, The Raft of the Medusa?
Garicald.
Correct. Toss-up. What famous composer wrote the popular orchestral piece known as his Water Music? Northside, Scott.
Handel.
Is correct. Here's the bonus question. What famous signer of the Declaration of Independence became the first governor of Massachusetts in 1780?
Hancock.
Correct. What is the major rock type forming the crust of the Earth under the Atlantic Ocean? Northside, Scott.
Igneous.
Incorrect. Beebe, John.
Metamorphic.
No, we were looking there for basalt. Toss-up. What is the chemical symbol for the element sodium? Northside, Scott.
Capital N, little a.
Correct. Here's your bonus question. What two West Indian islands are separated by the Windward Passage?
Puerto Rico. Cuba and Hispaniola.
Correct. Here's the toss-up question. What American wrote the words to the Battle Hymn of the Republic? Northside, AJ.
How?
Acceptable, judges. Julia Wardhouse, who used the music from the song John Brown's Body to complete the question. Here's the bonus question. What chemical element has an atomic number of 19 and an atomic weight of approximately 39?
Our bonus.
Yeah, it was a bonus question, so that brings us down. One more time, please.
Potassium.
Is correct. Toss-up question. At what primary position does baseball star Cal Ripken Jr. play with Beebe, Shane?
Shortstop.
For the Baltimore Orioles. Correct. Here's your bonus question. Whose final words were, quoting, "I had to obey the rules of war and my flag. I am ready." This statement I'll complete your bonus question for you as we end the quarter. This statement was made in May of 1962, only moments before the speaker was executed for Nazi war crimes.
Eichmann.
Adolf Eichmann is correct. So that is the end of the second quarter. 370 for Northside to Beebe's 80. That means that Beebe will have an opportunity to be the chooser of the first category of 60-second round questions. The categories are the number 14, presidential occupations and law. Number 14, presidential occupations and law. And we'll be back with the exciting 60-round section after this.
In keeping with AETN's primary mission of supporting the educational needs of all students in the state of Arkansas, AETN's Department of Educative Services takes pride in their dedication.
The Instructional Services Division of the Educative Services Department has a three-part responsibility. We are responsible for all the staff development of the teachers in the state of Arkansas in regard to instructional television usage in the classroom. We are also responsible for the promotion of the materials that AETN as a whole puts into the classroom and puts across the broadcast signal. And we're also responsible for the Station Break newscast, which airs on Fridays at 1 o'clock and repeats on Mondays at 1 o'clock. Staff development can be in the form of regional workshops, state workshops, national conferences, building level, and district level workshops.
And welcome back to Quiz Bowl 1990. Some of the brightest students in Arkansas are here with us today. 235 teams started the competition in March. We're down to our final teams in the Arkansas Quiz Bowl Overall State Championship Tournament. The live broadcast is a cooperative effort by the Arkansas Educational Television Network and the Arkansas Department of Education. The governor's academic competition, Arkansas Quiz Bowl, is coordinated by the State Recognition Program at the Arkansas Department of Education. Well, this is third quarter of play, the exciting 60-second round. Northside leads Beebe 370-80. So, Beebe, you will have your first choice in the selection of questions. The categories are the number 14, presidential occupations and law. What would be your preference?
Presidential occupations.
Okay, presidential occupations. Get out the questions. We'll put 60 seconds on the clock. Obviously, I'll be looking for the occupation of the president. President associated with the occupation. Here we go. He was a newspaper publisher and Chautauqua speaker.
Nixon.
Incorrect. He was a college president.
Wilson.
Correct. Haberdasher.
Andrew Johnson.
Incorrect. Commander of the European theater in World War II.
Eisenhower.
Correct. Hollywood star.
Reagan.
Correct. Leader of the Rough Riders.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Correct. Land surveyor.
Washington.
Correct. Architect and inventor.
Jefferson.
Correct. Peanut farmer.
Carter.
Sheriff.
Hayes.
Incorrect. So we have a few for Northside to work on, starting at the top of the list, Northside. He was a newspaper publisher and Chautauqua speaker. Answer, please.
Harding.
Is correct. Haberdasher.
Clothier. What? Clothier. Taylor.
Answer, please.
Taylor.
Incorrect. Looking for President Truman there. The sheriff. Answer, please.
Johnson.
Cleveland. Our answer there. So, I have a couple of categories left. That is law and the number 14.
I'll take 14.
So Northside has to choose which category I'd like to have there.
14.
The number 14. Okay, Northside, identify these things associated with the number 14. 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go. This New England state was the 14th to enter the Union.
Vermont.
Correct. According to custom, it was the birthday of Attila the Hun and the feast of St. Valentine.
February 14th.
February 14th.
Correct. Battle fought on October 14th, 1066.
Battle Hastings.
Battle of Hastings.
Correct. American space mission that sent Alan Shepard, Stuart Roosa, and Edgar Mitchell to the moon.
No. Apollo 14.
Apollo 14.
Correct. President who proposed the 14 points.
Wilson.
Wilson.
Correct. 14 squared.
196.
196.
Incorrect. North American Professional Baseball League with 14 teams.
American League.
Correct. It begins, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
Sonnet 14.
Again, please.
By Shakespeare, Sonnet 14 sonnet.
Incorrect. This 14th president was from New Hampshire.
Pierce.
Pierce.
Correct. Element number 4. So we have a couple to go back for Beebe to work on here. 14 squared, Beebe.
196.
Incorrect. Looking for 296 there. The answer. It begins, the fool has said it in his...
196 is correct. 196 is correct.
196 was correct. The Northside will be awarded those teams. Those points. That was the answer the Northside had given. The judge's sheet had 296. We apologize. Let me give you back that question. It begins, the fool has said in his heart there is no God. They have corrupted their behavior and made it abominable. There is none who does it right.
We don't know.
Okay, looking for the 14th Psalm. And then a partial question for the 10th question, element number.
14. No.
Answer, please.
Fluorine.
The correct answer there was silicon. So that is the end of the exciting 62nd round. Northside 460, Beebe 150. A very important fourth quarter of play coming up after this.
Beebe High School in Beebe, Arkansas is the home of the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl Class AA runners-up. On April 10th, this year's team, coached by Tanya Davis, received the distinction of competing in the overall state championship here in Conway. Expressing the concept of badgering your opponent, Beebe will endeavor to achieve its first Quiz Bowl title. AETN would like to wish the Beebe Badgers the very best of luck in the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl overall state tournament.
And we are back to Quiz Bowl 1990, the fourth quarter of play in this round. Northside leading Beebe 460 to 150. The fourth quarter is again toss-up questions. So, competitors, here we go. What famous composer wrote the opera Fidelio? Northside, Scott.
Beethoven.
Although he is extremely famous for other works, this was his only opera. That's correct. What organ of the human body is composed of tiny functional units known as nephrons? Northside, AJ.
The kidney.
Is correct. Yeah. At over 19,000 feet in elevation, what volcano is the highest point on the African continent? Beebe, Shane.
Kilimanjaro.
Correct. Mathematics question here. Tom works for a grocery store making $6 per hour regular pay, plus time and 1/2 for any hours over 40 he works in 1 week. What would be Tom's gross pay for a week in which he worked 44 hours? Northside, Chris.
$276.
Correct. What city serves as the capital of the Dominican Republic? Beebe, Shane.
San Domingo.
Correct. To what geologic era does the Permian period belong? Northside, Scott.
Mesozoic.
One more time, please.
Mesozoic.
Incorrect. Beebe, Eugene.
Paleozoic.
Correct. What modern American author wrote the play A Delicate Balance? Northside, AJ.
Eugene O'Neill.
Incorrect. Bring in the time, Beebe, Shane.
Williams.
Incorrect. Looking there for Edward Albee. In the sentence, Cindy has her own personal stationery. What is the correct spelling of the word? Beebe, Shane.
Stationery.
Is correct. Convert the Roman numeral DCLXXI to its Northside, Scott.
671.
To its decimal equivalent. That's correct. What World War II naval battle is considered to be the first Navy battle in Northside, Dave?
Midway.
Incorrect. I'll complete the question. First naval battle in history in which sailors on the opposing ship never came within sight of one another. The battle was fought entirely by planes from aircraft carriers? Beebe, Shane.
The Battle of Lady Golf.
No, looking for the Battle of the Coral Sea there. Continuing now, what future U.S. president was defeated in 1962 in a bid for the governor? Beebe, Shane.
Nixon.
Correct. For the governorship of California, most observers at the time considered this to be the end of his political career. Continuing now with a mathematics question, solve the following equation for x, and please state your answer as a mixed numeral. 8x minus 7 equals 3x plus 5. Northside, Scott.
X equals 2 2/5.
Is correct. With what art movement was the late artist Salvador Dali considered? Northside, Chris.
Surrealism.
Is correct. Considered a leader in the early 20th century. Next question. What class of astronomical object is considered to contain the furthest known objects from the Earth? Northside, Chris.
Quasars.
Correct. What U.S. state has a bison on its state flag? Northside, AJ.
Montana.
Incorrect. Beebe, Shane.
North Dakota.
No, the state is Wyoming. Continuing, what country controls the tiny Wake Island group in the Central Pacific? Beebe, Shane.
United States.
Is correct. What pioneering German bacteriologist discovered the organisms which are responsible for the diseases anthrax? Northside, Chris.
Pasteur.
Incorrect. Beebe, Shane.
Cook. Cook.
Judges? Incorrect. I'll complete the question. Anthrax and tuberculosis, those were considered major breakthroughs in the 19th century. Robert Koch. What modern British author wrote a trilogy of novels in the 1960s and 70s which was composed of Inside Mr. Enderby, Enderby Outside, and The Clockwork Testament? Northside, AJ.
Burgess Adams.
Incorrect. Time. We were looking there for Anthony Burgess. Continuing, in what country would one be if one were visiting the city of Kristiansund? I'll spell it K-R. Northside, AJ.
South Africa.
Incorrect. Spelled Kristiansund. Beebe, Shane.
Norway.
Is correct. Which planet of the solar system has 70... So that is the end of the fourth quarter of play. Northside 530, Beebe 220. Congratulations to both teams for being here. We have the exciting final match coming up after a short break. Come back and see us.
The overall championship tournament will return in just a moment.
In keeping with AETN's primary mission of supporting the educational needs of all students in the state of Arkansas, AETN's Department of Educative Services takes pride through their dedicated service. AETN's Nancy Smith describes the three objectives of the department's Instructional Services Division.
We are responsible for all the staff development of the teachers in the state of Arkansas in regard to instructional television usage in the classroom. We are also responsible for the promotion of the materials that AETN as a whole puts into the classroom and puts across the broadcast signal. Then we're also responsible for the Station Break newscast, which airs on Fridays at 1 o'clock and repeats on Mondays at 1 o'clock.
More than 2,500 instructional television programs are made available to Arkansas educators through the Program Services Division of the Educative Services Department. AETN's Carolyn Prince explains distribution possibilities of ITV programming.
We provide an ITV broadcast schedule from 9 until 3, Monday through Friday. But if a school cannot receive our signal clearly, we also offer an alternative. A school may request a dubbed copy of one of our programs from our dubbing center located here in Conway, or if they're a member of one of the 15 regional educational co-ops, there is a lending library located there where they also can obtain a copy of our programming.
In Channel
Many Arkansans are taking advantage of AETN's 2 adult education programs, GED on TV and Learn to Read. AETN's Donna Muldrew explains how students are assisted.
Through these programs, we help adults learn how to read, or we help adults who are trying to obtain their GED diploma. With the GED on TV students, I have monthly contact with these students. In addition to talking to them, some of them I talk to on a daily or even a weekly basis. I give them as much encouragement as I can, and also help them with any problems that they're having with their lessons.
AETN's adult education programming offers a solution to a major problem existing here in Arkansas. Adult Education Television Center Coordinator Sandra Hardage explains.
Arkansas has about 300,000 illiterate adults, and as part of the solution to that problem, we are offering courses through the television to assist adults in learning to read or in preparing for the GED exam.
Instructional programming received via satellite is coming of age here in Arkansas. AETN Computer Services Coordinator Kevin Lewis explains his role with Arkansas educators.
I serve on a technical advisory committee for CERSI, which is a satellite educational resource consortium. I also provide consulting work to the schools. I work with them with in-house distribution systems, satellite systems, and provide a lot of technical assistance in the field.
The Arkansas Educational Television Network's Department of Educative Services, supporting the educational needs of all students in the state of Arkansas.
Welcome back to Quiz Bowl 1990. This is what all of these teams have fought so hard for, and to be at this spot right here. And we'll come back and say hello to the teams in just a moment. The NCAA has its Final Four, but in Arkansas we have our Final 8, not athletic teams but academic teams featured here today, and they've been competing all day. These teams represent the hopes of 235 high school teams which started the road to the Final 8 back in March. This overall state championship tournament features 8 high school teams from all over the state and represents the top 2 teams in each of 4 competition classifications. The first round of tournaments was held on March 13th, then the second round on April 10th. 235 high school teams entered this academic competition in hopes of representing their classifications in this tournament. Some schools even started last fall by conducting tournaments in their local schools to determine the school's team members for the state competition. But as we mentioned, it was all to get down to this match. The final match between Northside and Pine Bluff. To both of the 2 teams, before we get started, you've met the teams. Good luck to both of you. Congratulations for getting here. The rules remain the same. We start with toss-up questions. One more time. Good luck. Here come your toss-up questions. What famous American astronaut was the first human to walk on the moon? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Neil Armstrong.
Correct. What American author wrote the story The Cask of Northside, Chris?
Poe.
Correct. What is the term in biology given to the appendages on amoeba which are used? Northside, Scott.
Pseudopodia.
Judges? Pseudopods or pseudopodia, correct? Amoeba which are used to move and to catch food to complete the question. We have a math question now. Solve the following equation for x. 5x minus 20 equals 2x minus Northside, Chris.
2 1/3.
Now I'll complete the question. Solving for x, 5x minus 20 equals 2x minus 32. Pine Bluff, Chris.
X equals -4.
Correct. What Austrian composer wrote the famous oratories known as The Creation? Pine Bluff, Debut.
Handel.
Incorrect. The Creation and the Seasons. Northside, Scott.
Wagner.
Incorrect. Looking for Haydn. In what country can one visit the cities of Fez and Northside, AJ?
Israel.
Incorrect. Pine Bluff, Dan.
Morocco.
Correct. Fez and Marrakech to complete the question there. Another toss-up question. What date and year did the Allies invade Normandy in the Northside Dave?
June 6, 1944.
Is correct. 5 is 40% of what larger number to the nearest 10? Pine Bluff, Chris.
6.3.
Incorrect. Northside, Chris.
12.5.
Correct. Another toss-up. What is the English meaning of the Greek root Bible? Northside, Chris.
Book.
Correct. What U.S. president defeated Charles Pinckney in the election of 1808? Northside, A.J.
Madison.
Correct. What British poet published 2 volumes of 6 poems each? Pine Bluff, Dan.
Wordsworth.
Incorrect. I'll complete the question. Each in 1879 and 1880, both of which were entitled Dramatic Idylls. Northside, Chris.
Tennyson.
Incorrect. Looking for Robert Browning there. What term in biology is given to the specialized study of tissues? Pine Bluff, Debut.
Histology.
Correct. Which of Shakespeare's plays contains the characters Oberon and Northside, Chris?
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Correct. The king and queen of the fairies to complete the question there. Name the winged monsters in classical mythology who were half women and half Pine Bluff, Chris.
The Gordon.
Incorrect. Half women and half birds to complete the question. Northside, Chris.
Harpies.
Correct. What Russian composer wrote the popular ballad Sleeping Beauty? Northside, Scott.
Tchaikovsky.
Is correct. What American inventor is credited with developing the handheld camera in the late Northside, Scott again?
Eastman.
Please?
Eastman.
Correct. What modern author wrote the novel The Color Purple, on which Northside, Chris?
Walker.
Correct. What is the term in biology given to the specific study of insects? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Entomology.
Correct. What U.S. state contains the Padre Island National Northside, AJ?
Texas.
Is correct. The Padre Island National Seashore to complete that question. On we go. Mathematics question here. A dress which normally sells for $49 is reduced by 20% in a sale. What would be the new price of the dress? Pine Bluff, Tim.
$39.20.
Is correct. What was the famous pen name of the American author William Sidney Porter? Northside, AJ.
O. Henry.
Correct. In what African nation do the Blue Nile and the White Nile, Pine Bluff, Tim?
Sudan.
Correct. The Blue Nile and the White Nile flow together to form the main part of the Nile River. On we go. In what field were Alfred Binet and Northside, AJ?
They're a psychologist.
Looking for a more specific answer there.
Social psychologist.
No, I'll complete the question. Alfred Binet and Theodore Simon considered pioneers in what field? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Parapsychology.
Judges?
Correct.
Incorrect. We're looking for intelligence testing, the specific answer there. On we go. Name the first black woman to serve in the U.S. Congress. Pine Bluff, Debut. You can still answer the question. That just signifies the end of the first quarter.
Jeanette Rankin.
Again, please.
Jeanette Rankin.
No. Incorrect. Northside, AJ.
Chisholm.
Correct. Shirley Chisholm. So that's the end of the first quarter of play. The score, Northside 140, Pine Bluff 70. We'll be back with the all-important bonus round coming up as Quiz Bowl 90 continues after this.
Northside High School in Fort Smith, Arkansas is the home of the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl Class AAA champions. On April 10th, this year's team, coached by Larry Jones, won the right to compete in the overall championship here in Conway. In a caliber that rivals its sports program, Northside, formerly known as Fort Smith High School, regains the chance to show off academically its Grizzly pride to the rest of the state. AETN would like to wish the Northside Grizzlies the best of luck in the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl overall state tournament.
Welcome back to Quiz Bowl 90. This is the final match for the championship team. We're about to enter second quarter play between Northside and Pine Bluff. Northside leads Pine Bluff 140-70. This is considered the bonus round. In this question, we ask in this round rather, we ask a toss-up question, and then if that is correctly answered, the team has an opportunity for additional points by answering a bonus question. So both teams, if you are ready, we'll start with the toss-up. Here we go. For what Major League Baseball team was Henry Aaron playing Northside AJ?
Braves.
Correct, when he broke Babe Ruth's all-time career home run record. Here comes your bonus question. What was the famous pseudonym of 18th century French author Francois-Marie Arouet? Arouet. A-R-O-U-E-T. Voltaire is correct. Toss-up question. What tiny country, slightly smaller than Washington, D.C., lies on the east bank of the Rhine River? Pine Bluff, Debut?
Luxembourg.
Incorrect. Northside, Dave.
Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein, just south of Lake Constance. Here's your bonus question. What Texas city lies on the coast at the extreme southern point of the state?
Corpus Christi.
No, incorrect. We're looking there for Brownsville, Texas.
That's right.
Here's a math question, contestants, as you get your pencils, asking you for the average to the nearest 10th place of the following 5 numbers: 87, 89, 95, 98, 102. Time. We're looking for 94.2 as the average there. When Jimmy Carter was elected president in 1976, who did he name as Northside AJ?
Man.
Incorrect. I'll complete the question. Who did he name as U.S. Ambassador to the UN, to the United Nations? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Andrew Young.
Is correct. Here's your bonus question. What is the term for the muscular tubes which carry urine from the kidneys to the urinary bladder in humans?
Urethra? Yeah. Urethra? Urethra.
Judges, I'll ask for your determination on that.
That's incorrect.
Looking for ureters.
Urethra.
Here's a toss-up question. What is the term for the fluid-filled membrane which surrounds a developing human embryo? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Amnion?
Is correct, to provide a watery environment. Here's your bonus question. Name 2 of the 3 new nations which were given their independence from Russia by the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, which officially ended Russian participation in World War I in March of 1918.
Estonia, Latvia. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania.
That is incorrect.
Poland, Czechoslovakia.
Looking for Finland, Poland, and the Ukraine. Mathematics question here, students. Give the value of pi to 5 decimal places. Northside, Scott.
3.1415926. I went a few overboard, but
No extra points for the extra digits. Northside, here's your bonus question. What is the term in geology given to the ratio of the vertical distance of a stream between 2 given points to the horizontal distance between these same 2 points?
Gradient.
Is correct. Toss-up question. What property of a moving object is calculated by multiplying its mass? Northside, Chris.
Momentum.
Its mass times its velocity. That is correct. What Russian author wrote the classic novel Crime and Punishment?
Dostoevsky.
That's correct. I owe you an extra bonus question, too, don't I?
Sure.
He got momentum correct. I didn't give him a bonus question.
right.
It dawned on me. So I owe you 2 bonus questions, Northside. I apologize. Here's your first one. This is the question from the momentum answer. So the city of Bamako serves as the capital of what African nation?
Mali.
Is correct. And here's your other one. Again, I apologize. What German-born composer of the early 20th century collaborated with writer Bertolt Brecht on the, this is a bonus question anyway, Bertolt Brecht on the highly successful The Threepenny Opera?
What is it? I'll say Greek, because I don't know if that's wrong.
Greek. No, looking for Kurt Weill there. So back to regular play. Here comes the toss-up question. What vitamin helps vision at night? Northside, Scott.
Vitamin A.
Again, please.
Vitamin A.
Is correct. I couldn't hear you over the other buzzer. Here's your bonus question. What French term is used in psychology to refer to someone whose overall mental capabilities are very limited, but who possesses one extraordinary talent, such as in performing rapid mathematical calculations?
Idiot savant.
Idiot savant. Is correct. Toss-up question. If someone is said to have arachnophobia, of what? Northside Chris.
Fear of spiders.
Certainly is. Here's the bonus question. In what country does the Indus River flow into the sea?
Or Bangladesh. Bangladesh.
Incorrect. We're looking there for Pakistan. And that is the end of the bonus round. Northside leads Pine Bluff 290-290. We'll come back in a moment and have the 60-second categories. Let me give you the categories. You can be thinking about what you might want. They are geometry, Civil War, and genetics. Geometry, Civil War, and genetics. We'll be back with the 60-second round, the third quarter of play on Quiz Bowl 90 right after this timeout.
In keeping with AETN's primary mission of supporting the educational needs of all students in the state of Arkansas, AETN's Department of Educative Services takes pride in their dedication.
As coordinator of the Adult Education Television Center, which is housed here at AETN, I'm responsible for promoting and recruiting students for our adult programs. We have approximately a little over 1,000 students in our GED on TV program and Learn to Read program. Arkansas has about 300,000 illiterate adults, and as part of the solution to that problem, we are offering courses through the television to assist adults in learning to read or in preparing for the GED exam. We hope that next year we will be able to enroll over 2,000 students, so we have a hefty goal set for ourselves, and we are excited about the possibilities that we have for working with the adults in Arkansas.
And we're back to Quiz Bowl 1990. Welcome back. Northside leading Pine Bluff 290-90. During the period we're away, the judges say that Pine Bluff is entitled to one additional toss-up question because of the question mix-up we had in the second round. So Pine Bluff, here is your question. What controversial baseball figure holds the Major League record for most hits in a career? Debut?
Pete Rose.
Is correct. Now, the 60-second categories are geometry, Civil War, and genetics. The rules say that the team which is behind Pine Bluff has its first choice. So, Pine Bluff, what would you like?
Civil War, please.
Civil War. All the answers you can in 60 seconds. Good luck. 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go. Battle in which Fighting Joe Hooker commanded the Union forces.
Chancellorsville.
Correct. The state in which Fort Sumter was located.
South Carolina. South Carolina.
Correct. The first man offered command of the Union forces.
Robert E. Lee. Lee.
Correct. The Union cavalry commander nicknamed Cinnamon.
Sheridan.
Incorrect. Battle the Confederates called the Battle of Shiloh.
Vicksburg. No. Pete's none. I don't know. Pittsburgh Landing. Pittsburgh Landing.
Correct. The man nicknamed Unconditional Surrender.
U.S. Grant.
Correct. American known for his Civil War photography.
Brady.
Correct. The city Sherman gave to the American people for Christmas.
Atlanta.
Incorrect. The Confederate ironclad ship.
Merrimack.
Correct. The date President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation.
January 1st, 1860. January 1st, 1863.
Correct.
Okay.
For those of you watching at home, the rules dictate that the only answer that is acceptable is the answer that comes from the captain. Daniel is the captain, so his 1863 wins out over Chris's 1862, and we're sure Pine Bluff is happy about that. Northside gets an opportunity to answer a couple of the questions which Pine Bluff missed. Northside, here we go. The Union cavalry commander nicknamed Cinnamon.
McClellan.
No, we're looking for Custer. And the city Sherman gave to the American people for Christmas.
Where he marched. Savannah.
Time, answer please.
Savannah.
Is correct.
All right. Good job.
So, Northside, now your choice of either genetics or geometry. Geometry. Again, 60 seconds on the clock. As many correct answers as you can in a minute. Here we go. Series of classical geometry books written by Euclid.
The element.
Correct. The branch of geometry which deals with objects in three-dimensional space.
Space geometry.
Incorrect. The geometrical solid that has only three surfaces.
Cylinder.
Correct. The four-sided polygon with only two sides parallel.
Trapezoid.
Correct. The number of degrees in vertex angle if each base angle of an isosceles triangle measures 75 degrees.
30.
Correct. Two straight lines in the same plane which do not meet no matter how.
Parallel.
Correct. A line segment connected the center of a circle with any point on the circle.
Radius.
Correct. Figure formed by two radii of a circle and included arc.
Vector.
Correct. The French mathematician who
Do we get it now?
So we go back to Pine Bluff for the missed question and the partial question. Here's the question, Pine Bluff. The branch of geometry which deals with objects in three-dimensional space.
Solid geometry.
Is correct. The partial question now you get as much as Northside received. The French mathematician who in 16...
Descartes.
Correct. Let me complete the question for those at home. In 1637 published the first book of an analytical geometry. So after three-quarters of play, Northside 370, Pine Bluff 200. The all-important final quarter of this final match comes up on Quiz Bowl 1990 right after this.
Pine Bluff High School in Pine Bluff, Arkansas is the home of the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl Class AAA runners-up. This year's team, coached by Virginia Scoggins, received the honor on April 10th of competing in the overall state championship here in Conway. Pine Bluff is one of the largest high schools in Arkansas with a top-notch media center and modern library facilities. AETN wishes the very best of luck to the Pine Bluff Zebras in the 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl overall state tournament.
Well, we're back in Pine Bluff. Do you remember back when you got that toss-up question that I gave you and forgot to give you a bonus question after that one? We're going to get this right. You get a bonus question now for getting that Pete Rose question correct, and I inadvertently forgot to give that to you. So before we go into all the toss-up questions in the final quarter of play, Pine Bluff gets this bonus question. What large brackish water lake lies directly north of New Orleans, Louisiana?
Lake Pontchartrain.
Is correct. So we are to toss-up questions, the final quarter. Northside leading Pine Bluff 370 to 220 to both teams as we enter this final quarter of 1990 Quiz Bowl. Good luck. What prominent communist figure served as Soviet foreign minister from 1957 until well into the 1980s when he resigned due to poor health? Northside, AJ.
Shevardnadze.
Incorrect. Pine Bluff, Chris.
Gromyko.
Is correct. Give the chemical formula for sulfuric acid. Northside, Scott.
H2SO4.
Correct. In the Old Testament, what prophet was saved from lions by Northside, Chris?
Daniel.
Saved from the lions by God. Correct. What Thornton Wilder play contains the Pine Bluff, Tim?
Our Town.
Correct. Contains the character Dr. Gibbs. What is unusually meant, excuse me, let me start over. What is usually meant by the abbreviation SAT? Pine Bluff, debut.
Scholastic Aptitude Test.
Correct. Who became U.S. President upon the assassination of William McKinley? Northside, AJ.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Correct. Mathematics question, contestants. A dress normally costing $72 is reduced in price by 15% in a sale. What will be the new price of the dress? Pine Bluff, Tim.
$55.60.
Incorrect. Northside, Scott.
$61.20.
Is correct. What famous composer wrote the operas Rinaldo? Pine Bluff, debut.
Mozart.
Incorrect. The operas Rinaldo, Berenice, Orlando, and Xerxes while living. Pine Bluff, Scott.
Handel.
Is correct. While living in Italy in the early 1700s to complete that question. What three larger nations border the tiny European country of Luxembourg? Northside, Dave.
Netherlands, France, and West Germany.
Incorrect. Pine Bluff, Tim.
West Germany, Belgium, and France.
Is correct. In the conventional U.S. system of fluid measure, how many fluid ounces are required to make up 1 Pine Bluff? Tim?
16.
Incorrect. Gallon to complete the question. Scott, Northside.
128.
Is correct. Who was the father of Methuselah in the old Northside? Chris?
Enoch.
Correct. What is the sine of an angle of 3 pi over 2 degrees? Northside, Chris.
1 over square root of 2.
Incorrect. Pine Bluff, Tim.
0.
Also incorrect. We're looking for -1 there, contestants. Here we go. What large Mediterranean island contains the famous volcano known as Mount Etna? Pine Bluff to boot.
Sicily.
Correct. What common alloy of 2 plentiful and easy to melt metals is thought to have been the first metal? Pine Bluff to boot.
Lead and bronze.
I'm sorry, again?
Lead and bronze.
Judges? Incorrect. Used in thought to have been the first metal alloy used in prehistoric times. Northside, Scott.
Bronze.
Bronze is correct. What Massachusetts-born author and critic wrote the Bigelow Papers? Northside, AJ.
Lowell.
Correct. What Norwegian fascist was prime minister of a puppet government? Norway, AJ.
Quisling.
Correct. To complete the question, puppet government in Norway during the occupation of that nation in the Second World War. What is the term given to the phenomena by which water rises by contact? Pine Bluff to boot.
Capillary action.
Correct. Contact with a solid such as in blotter or in a narrow tube to complete that question. What Greek town at the foot of Mount Parnassus was Northside, Chris?
Pompeii.
Again, please.
Pompeii.
Incorrect. I'll complete the question. Was famous for its temple to Apollo. Pine Bluff to boot.
Delphi.
Correct. And its oracle where Apollo's messages could supposedly be heard to complete that question. What American poet wrote the poems Anna Rutledge and Lucinda Matlock? Northside, AJ.
William Dean Howells.
Incorrect. Pine Bluff to boot.
T.S. Eliot.
Also incorrect. Part of his collection known as Spoon River Anthology completes the question. Edgar Lee Masters is the answer. What American naval hero led a boarding party which burned the captured frigate Philadelphia? Northside, Chris.
John Paul Jones.
Incorrect. During the war with Tripoli in 1804 to prevent its use by the enemy to complete the question. Pine Bluff to boot.
Don't know.
Stephen Decatur. What U.S. president succeeded Dwight D. Eisenhower in office? Northside, AJ.
Kennedy.
More specific, please.
JFK.
Correct. What British author wrote the classic novels Tess of the D'Urbervilles and Pine Bluff to boot?
Thomas Hardy.
Correct. What large constellation of the southern hemisphere represents a whale? Pine Bluff, Chris.
Cetacean.
Again, please.
Cetacea. Cetacean.
Judges? Incorrect. And that is the end of the final round. Northside 480, Pine Bluff 300. I'm sure if you're watching at home, you agree. An incredible job by all the students you've seen here. Brenda Matthews from the Department of Education will be here to give awards in just a moment as Quiz Bowl 90 wraps up.
In keeping with AETN's primary mission of supporting the educational needs of all students in the state of Arkansas, AETN's Department of Educative Services takes pride in their dedication.
My role here in the ITV department really is, actually I do a lot of work with AETN as a whole. I'm in charge of providing services for the computers here. I provide training, install equipment and set up, install all the software. And also I write a lot of software for the ITV department here. We are writing software for our video library, for our dubbing center, for scheduling software. A lot of it's mainly database work. And some of the other things I do is I serve on a technical advisory committee for CERSI, which is a satellite educational resource consortium. I also provide consulting work to the schools. I work with them with in-house distribution systems, satellite systems, and provide a lot of technical assistance in the field.
Thank
you for being with us this afternoon. You have seen the culmination of months of work and preparation on the part of the students and the schools, the coaches, and you just have no idea what it takes to get everyone here today. We have seen some of the best, even though we had our Final Four featured for you today. There were hundreds of matches held in our other tournaments. Some were double overtime, some were won by 10 points. It has just truly been an amazing year. As mentioned earlier, we started this year in grouping our teams by school size. Everyone seems to really enjoy that arrangement, and we plan on continuing it. We divided into 4 classifications. We had a AAA, AA, A, and B. We started with 64 teams in the Class A, 64 teams in AAA, 64 teams in Class AA, and then on down to our other classifications. We have room for growth, though. If your school has not taken part and you would like to now get involved, each year in October, I first send the information to the high schools in the state asking if you are interested in competing. At that time, if I don't hear from you, then I don't send any more correspondence to your school. So please indicate that you would like to take part in this. We said earlier we have 70% of the high schools. We would someday like to have 99, 100% involved. So see if you can't get a team started in your school if your town is not taking part right now. I'd like to take this opportunity before I make the awards, because I've got a little time here. There were 32 wonderful high schools throughout this state that opened their doors to us, called in community volunteers, and conducted the first tournament on March the 13th. I'd like to just take a minute and run through those. I'd like to thank Morrilton High School, Greene County Tech High School, Harrison, Benton, Arkansas High School in Texarkana, Pine Bluff, Cabot, Lee High School. They hosted our AAA tournaments. In our AA tournaments, we had Fordyce, Farmington, Walnut Ridge, Paris, Clinton, Gosnell, Stamps, Harrisburg. Without these folks, we couldn't even have started the tournaments. In our Class A, the 8 tournaments were held in Charleston, Murfreesboro, Clarendon, Newark, Lavaca, Quitman, Magnet Cove, and Flippin. Our Class B tournaments came up, and this was the first time many of these folks had even participated, much less conducted a tournament, and we were very proud of all their involvement. Class B, we had Bruno Payette, Mulberry, Izard County Consolidated, Hatfield, Mineral Springs, Lynn, White County Central, and Louisville. You see, we have a statewide program here. We have over 1,000 students involved. We're awfully pleased to have had you with us today to see just the end of the tournament. We've had 37 tournaments now. So I would like to congratulate the teams that participated at all levels, and now call on Huntsville for our first award presentation. This is Harry Shin that you met earlier, Steve Harwood, and then the captain of their team, Matt. I understand that your principal, Mr. Leafsey, and your superintendent, Mr. Woodruff, is quite proud of your team. Would you like to give any comments or tell us anything about these people we didn't get to hear today?
Yes, I'd like to say something about our missing teammate who is home with the flu, Billy Allred. We miss him. We hope he's feeling better before we get back. Yes, we would like to thank Mr. Leafsey and Mr. Woodruff for their support, and for the faculty, wonderful faculty we have at Huntsville, for all their help.
Well, we just couldn't do it without the support of the communities and the school officials. I'd like to congratulate you today. Now, Matt, if you'll turn around and pick up one of these trophies. We don't separate our third place winner. We call the 2 teams that were eliminated in our semifinal matches both third place. So if you'll take this home with you, put it somewhere proudly in your school, we will appreciate it. Each of your team members will also receive a cash award of $150, and congratulations to you and good luck. Thank you. All right, here's Beebe. Y'all will scoot on down with me here now so we can see the trophies. Beebe had a unique thing happen to them this year. Because of playing by classifications, I had a team contact me a little later on and had not sent in the forms by the time I set up the tournament, so we made an adjustment and we had to move a team down in classification in 2 different levels. So I called Miss David and asked her if she would mind, and she cooperated as most all the coaches do, and played in a different classification and became the runner-up in the AA classification on April the 10th. What kind of stories can you tell us about your team?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the state for giving our students the opportunity to come and show what they can do academically. And also, I'd like to say that I'm very proud of Beebe's record this year. They only lost once, and that was by 20 points. And so we're proud to say that we're one of the 4 top teams in the state.
That's right. We tried to mention to our students earlier that they are all winners in our eyes. They wouldn't have gotten here today without winning. And unfortunately, you know, we only have 1 winner in the end, 1 overall state champion, but they all are champions in our eyes. Shane, can you tell us anything about the experiences with your team players?
I like to say that I've enjoyed myself this year. You know, there's 4 seniors on our team, and it was more or less our last chance to try to show something. And last year we didn't get to make it to the state, and I set a personal goal that, you know, next year that we were going to go to state. And even if we didn't win it all, I like to say that I had fun with the guys on my team, and there's just a great bunch of guys. I just like to say thanks for being there, and, you know, maybe next year the new bunch of guys that are on the team, maybe they can get to go to state.
Thank you, and excuse me for reaching across you. I didn't want to be sure he was heard. Your principal, Mr. Graham, and your superintendent, Mr. Marshall, should be very proud of you, and we'd like to congratulate you. If you would turn around and pick up the 3rd place trophy, and again, I'd like to request that you take that home and display it in your school in some prominent spot. Congratulations to you, Beebe. Through the years, you get to know these Quiz Bowl coaches. One of the ones from the very first year that stood in my mind, helped me the most, had suggestions, and I always listened as we made changes, is Virginia Scoggins. I've known this lady a long time. She was the coach of the very first state champion when we started in 1985. Arkadelphia defeated her team the next year, but then she came back the following year and was the 3rd state champion as well. So they have a long history. You hear a lot about experience, and experience paying off in all types of competitions. How many times have you been to the state tournament?
This is our 4th time.
4th time. She knows how to coach the team, how to prepare them. How many hours would you guess, Virginia, you put in on this?
We practice at noontime beginning about January 1st, I would think. We run a homeroom tournament in the first semester.
What they do is, from homerooms, conduct similar tournaments that you've seen today, and select then an all-school team to represent their school in the state competition. So this lady personally puts on, several matches at her school, and involves more students in that than you even heard here today. I got tickled at her high school coach one year, high school principal. He told me that there were more students that tried out for their Quiz Bowl team than tried out for their football team. Now, we like those kind of statistics as this movement is growing in the state. All right, Chris, I believe it was. You have any comments to make?
Well, 3 out of 5 of us are juniors, so there's next year, and be ready for it. That's all I have to say.
DeVoe.
We're coming back next year.
Oh, we're coming back next year. You've heard that before, and I don't doubt it one bit. If you would turn around then and pick up your 2nd place trophy. What you don't realize is that they already have 2 first place trophies in their library, and this one's going to fit right in with their others. They should have plenty of room, and we hope someday they have to build a special cabinet just for these trophies. So this is Pine Bluff High School. Thank you and congratulations. Move on off. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Go this way. All right. Let me bring on to you the overall state champion of the Governor's Academic Competition 1990 Arkansas Quiz Bowl, Fort Smith, Northside. We were talking about experience with Virginia. Now, I have also worked with and known the coach of this team quite a number of years, Larry Jones. Larry's a little far away from me. You correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure he will. You've been to the state tournament 3 times, is this correct? And you were the state champion once, 2 years ago. They came back last year, did not make it to the Final Four. You were 3rd place, and now back again this year. But what you must understand about this team is that they play Quiz Bowl all year long. I understand from Larry in conversations that the team players start coming in the summer, getting ready for the competition. So they're serious, as you could see today how serious they are. And Captain Chris, can you tell us anything about this crew of yours?
Well, we have AJ, and he's been with me ever since I've started the public school system, and ever since I've had Quiz Bowl experience. And he was here with me when we won it 2 years ago, but I wasn't on neither of us were on the team. So we're real seasoned. And all the other people, Jefferson Bagley, David Fowler, Jason Searchie, and Scott Newell are all spectacular people who I know real well. So we're a very good group of people.
You're an awfully well-balanced team. You're an awfully well-balanced team. When we were looking at the scores, because we are going to name an all-tournament team after the conclusion of play here today, we can't get all the statistics in time to tell you on the audience, but we will put out a release concerning the all-tournament team members. We noticed early on how balanced your team is, and that, you know, you all answer, you all get involved, and that's to your credit. Mr. Jones, if you'll turn around and take your first place team trophy.
Can I thank someone?
And we have a request. Chris wants to thank someone.
I'd like to thank Mr. Bardrick. He's our principal, and he's helped us out a lot and given us a lot of support and shown us that this is an actually needed competition. And I'd like to thank everyone else who helped out getting us here. Yeah.
I believe the comment made there at the end was that he's the best administrator in the universe, and usually does travel with them as they go places. I've met him on several occasions, and they truly do support their team. I mentioned earlier that we have had businesses. We've had businesses donate student electronic response systems for our first 2 levels of tournaments. And we want to award now, donated from Electro Systems Corporation in North Little Rock, a brand new student response system to the winning team. This is what we call a QuizMate, and they can use it in their practices, and I didn't want you to forget to take that with you.
Thank you.
No, you're more than welcome. We will advance this team to our national competition in which we are involved, held in Lake Forest, Illinois. It's a suburb of Chicago. We go the end of May, and I will be talking with the coach and the team players following our telecast to be certain that all arrangements can be made. With any endeavor like this, we have to thank hundreds of people. I would like to first thank the volunteers out in the state, the community, the schools for their help. I'd like to also thank some people right here locally that donated food for the students. We've been here since 1 o'clock, and we had food donated from the Food King in Beebe and Pine Bluff, Stobies in Conway, Harvest Foods in Conway, and Shorty's in Conway, and we certainly appreciate that support. No one has any idea what all it takes to get to this point today. We love this event. The people who get involved with it want to play more. We offer 3 levels of tournaments at the state, but what you don't realize is many schools have county tournaments. They hold in-school tournaments and literally begin playing as early as October. So you're only seeing 4 of the teams involved out of 235. I'd like to congratulate all the teams. I'd like to congratulate AETN for continuing to broadcast this. We appreciate your support. This is sponsored through the Arkansas Department of Education State Recognition Program. It is actually legislated that we offer this to the students of Arkansas. We enjoy conducting the tournament. I have never asked anyone to help who ever turned me down. This is an opportunity for the students to showcase their knowledge. Academic competitions in general are growing throughout the state. I'd like to encourage businesses, other community leaders, get involved, help us have excellence in education. Thank you very much.